Just over the weekend, I covered Magnificent Seven. We also talked about the fears for recession that is causing tumbling of all these seven prominent stocks, whether it is Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Tesla, Apple, and just today, as markets basically opened on Monday, you would have seen that a lot of sell-off has happened across the world, starting out with the Nikkei index in Japan, and then it went all the way to throughout all the countries in between, and finally basically hit the US markets as well. As you would have observed, many companies such as Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon have seen a very high level of sell-off today, and these fears are worsening as we speak. And it is expected that by the time the markets will basically call it a day or close it shortly within the next few minutes, we would have shed another $1 trillion in today itself. It is also worthwhile to note that Berkshire Hathaway has basically halved their investment in Apple, and they're owning almost hundreds of billions of dollars in treasury bonds, actually. So it seems that bond yields are going to go up as we move forward towards the later part of the year. But then the volatility in the tech stocks is all-time high right now. There is a lot of anxiety in the market. A lot of people are selling off. However, I would caution people that these are just jitters. I don't think this is a trend that will stay longer. There is definitely some correction that can happen. In fact, Nvidia saw a very huge dip, but if you recollect before the previous earnings calls of Nvidia, also there were jitters, and Nvidia had gone all the way to like 580 or something like that, and it was hovering around like 700 plus. But then after the sales results came in last quarter, it basically topped up to like 800 and went all the way to 1000 plus. Again, now Nvidia is back in the 900 territory. And Nvidia, I would say, is much more riskier stock than maybe let's say Microsoft or Amazon or even Meta or Google or Apple. Nvidia, I would put it in the same bucket as Tesla, because both of them are like single, one trick pony. Actually, I would say, meaning that Nvidia is riding the wave of AI and Tesla is riding the wave of electric vehicles, and both of them do not have very high diversified businesses, and that makes it very very succinct, basically very very privy to the fact that if anything happens on the AI market or the EV market, they will get battered completely. So Tesla, throughout their journey, has been very volatile stock, and I believe that Nvidia will start seeing it much more often, given the headwinds that are going on across the macroeconomics. So I feel in one way like very happy about it because I just discussed about it just over the weekend, not knowing that on Monday itself the stock market will tumble and this is what will happen. It's just like a hunch I had. I can't say I predicted that or anything like that. I don't have any mathematical formula or anything like that. If that were the case, I would have invested, shorted some of these stocks and made money out of it, right? So it's just that hunch, and the analysis that I do across the market gives me those kind of insights, and I basically share with you. And sometimes those insights can get wrong as well, right? But my insights are more towards medium to long term horizon, not for immediately what is going to happen. That's something I refrain from speaking. But I did see this coming, that we would see some correction in the stocks, but don't see this correction as an end of like boom of big tech stocks, primarily the Magnificent Seven that we did talk about. There is a possibility that Nvidia and Tesla may come out of Magnificent Seven, as Netflix was pushed out of like FANG stocks, like up until like last year, because Netflix started seeing a decline in their revenue. Their subscriber numbers also are not growing as much, and they are no longer like contender for $1 trillion company, whereas all others that we talked about are pretty much $1 trillion companies, or some of them are even 2 trillion or even $3 trillion companies, right? So, for instance, Microsoft, Apple are in 3 trillion territory. Nvidia was also about to inch to the 3 trillion territory, but they're back to like I think 2.4 trillion right now, because of the sell-off and all what we are seeing in the market for all these companies. So there is a high likelihood, that if this sell-off basically continues throughout this week, because this is just the starting of the week, um, then I would say definitely, stock market would most likely go like sideways. I don't think it'll completely tumble, but overall, as I said, markets are unpredictable. People behave irrationally. I don't think fundamentally anything has changed. We already know the job results that came in July were weak. Unemployment rate has risen to 4.1%. Today, I'm learning Dell has laid off thousands of people as a part of their sales organization restructuring. So that's definitely a major like setback. We already know last week Intel also announced about 15,000 people layoff, and that's another major setback. I don't think it is particular to the industry specific as such. It is more to do with the company, because Intel, I think, has not been able to ride the AI wave as they should have, whereas all other like hardware companies, whether it is Broadcom or whether it is Nvidia or other companies, they have done incredibly well, and somehow Intel kind of lost the plot on that. In addition to this, if you will see that in the past when the mobile wave was there, Intel again lost their plot there as well, and they couldn't like ride the mobile wave, which basically ARM did extremely well there. This was about, like, I would say, during like when iPhone etc were launching out, so more around like 2007, 2008, 2009 kind of time frame. So Intel, I would say, at least in the past 2 decades, have lost two trends. One was the mobile trend, which was around 2007, 8, 9 time frame, and more recent, the AI, generative AI wave that they could have jumped in. They kind of lost track on that as well, and as a result, I think they have to let go of so many people. Again, their stock decline has been meteoric actually. They have come down quite significantly, I would say. As I'm saying that, these are some of the things that are happening. Nobody knows for sure as to where these things will land, where the market will stabilize. But my thinking is whenever you invest in stocks, try to pick stocks that you're confident about, that you are aware about. And Since I belong from the tech industry and I have much more experience in that area, those is one I would prefer to take. But then I myself got, carried away in like 2021, and I just picked up some random stocks here and there. For the first half of 2021, I did make money in all those random stocks, because basically some of these stocks would just go up 20-25% in the matter of like days or even weeks, and I would just basically sell them whenever I would hit like that 20%, 25%. But after the second half of 2021, like since I hit like June, July 2021, I was not able to sell even a single stock, because none of them basically hit 20% margin. In fact, all of them started declining. In fact, some of them even declined like 99% or 90% as well. So I'm a bag holder myself, and all I can tell you is that no matter how clever you think you are, no matter how beautiful strategies that you make, you have to continuously update your strategies based upon how the market is performing, what the current situations are. It is very context dependent. You can't make a strategy that, okay, I'll buy at 52-week low, and whenever there is 20-25% hike, I'll already put a trigger and my stocks will sell. The problem is that, right now you see a lot of people are buying the dip, right? Because a lot of these stocks are basically going down, so many people are trying to enter the market as well, which in one way could be a good strategy as well. But then I even remember a scenario when Facebook last year used to be around like 385, something like that. And then it started kind of going down. So it went all the way to like 270 something. And I bought the stock thinking that, wow, this is like too low and Facebook will soon come up. But then after taking at 270, the stock kept on going down. It went all the way to like 88. So I was like literally thinking, what the hell just happened, right? And when will it come up? So it took them good like 6, 7, 8 months to like again like reach to that 200 something mark. And then since then this year it has been just like going up, and it's already near 500 right now. So, well, it was still Facebook. It's like a tech titan. It's a big tech stock. It's a magnificent seven stock. It's a strong company. So maybe it demonstrated that recovery. But this may not be true for, let's say, Tesla and Nvidia, because none of them, as I said, both of them are one trick ponies. They are not diversified businesses. Whereas Meta, Google, Amazon, Microsoft and Apple on the other end are very strong companies, very diversified. That doesn't mean that they cannot have correction as such. They can, as I said, um, their stock could be overvalued, but then I don't think they'll completely go down by, let's say, cut off by like 50% or 60%. Even if they go down that much, they would recover at least some of the losses by like stopping it again, maybe 10% down, maybe 15% down at most. That's what I believe. But again, on a daily basis, there are things that kind of move. The markets get spiked, spooked off, and right now it is mostly with the fears of recession that these things is going to happen. Uh, Berkshire Hathaway also like pulling off from Apple also kind of consolidates the fears that people are having that markets are going to go down. And as I said, another indicator is that Rupert Murdoch has basically invested like close to $300 billion in treasury bills. In fact, it is even more than like basically Fed itself. So that's interesting because he has tons of money, and this can actually signal that like stock markets are going to see more bloodbath, possibly because Rupert Murdoch is considered as the titan of investment, and he's considered as a very big, knowledgeable person in the industry. But people can get wrong all the time. So these are just some signals and indicators. And since I just kind of covered Magnificent Seven just over the weekend, I thought it's important for me to make the follow up, given the market meltdown that we have seen throughout, like Japan, India, South Korea, US, like basically everything in between. So Japan is on the far east, and US is on the far west, and everything in between basically saw kind of a meltdown, right? Uh, so I think it's not like a area to be panicked about. Things will basically settle. I think we need to wait and watch. Most likely, I believe that if this trend continues throughout this week till Friday, then I think definitely a lot of beer run will basically put in, and we will start seeing like negative sentiments all across the world, and investment situation will also deteriorate and things along those lines. But if it is just like jitters here and there, that's part of investing. I think if you can't bear those kind of things, then you should not be investing in the first place, because those things will always happen. So let's wait and watch. I hope you are enjoying your time, and please do write, subscribe, like the videos that I'm making. It's for the benefit of all the people because I speak through the heart. And none of the videos that we have had are scripted, or any questions are pre-decided and things along those lines. So whatever comes in our mind, whatever thoughts we have, we basically circulate them right away in as raw format as possible. I am right now again at one of the appointments, and since I was waiting, I thought I should cover this as well. Do write to me, like do let me know what you think about the markets. Did you have any stocks of Magnificent Seven? Have you seen any kind of reduction in your portfolio? What are your thoughts about the housing market situation, the labor market situation? And I would love to hear that as well. till that time, take care, and we'll basically connect again. Meanwhile, if you could like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel, that would be much appreciated. Also, do tell me if there are any other topics that you would like to hear more about. I'd love to cover them as well. Take care, eat healthy, don't panic too much. These things happen all the time, and hopefully, by the end of this week, we'll get like a real trajectory of where the market is heading. But throughout this year, I think such kind of jitters and spikes and troughs and lows will keep happening, and it will be a bumpy ride for sure. Recession, we don't know for sure is going to happen or not, but I believe we are in some kind of recession already for the past 2 years, at least in the tech industry. Situation is extremely bad. But again, time will tell whether we technically announce that it is a recession by the end of this year. Till then, take care. I hope you're enjoying your time. Enjoy the summers. There's another month left here in the US in August. And after that, the weather will start changing, cold season will start coming in. So just enjoy your time as much as you can with friends and family. And these stock markets and economy and all those things are anyway not in our control. We are just merry participants. The game is being played by all the top politicians and industries and things along those lines. So take care. Have a nice day. Bye. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.